just the other day, and there's something she said that really challenged me. That in her life, she came to a realization that she was always playing support actress role in the film of her life, and instead of playing the lead actor role. And what did that mean? Meaning that she was always giving other people first priority in her life and forgetting her own. Like she was, and that is something that has challenged me to share with you some of these things that I've learned in my 40s. I wish I had learned them early, and that's why I want you who is in your young 20s to learn some of these things. Like, stop giving people too much priority over your life until you forget to take charge. There's some of the things that we are cultured, even as a society, to always put other people first, and that way we tend to forget ourselves. So that anytime you want to do something, you'll first think through: will it be? How will people react? How will it affect other people? And that way, you end up forgetting yourself. You tend to give so much power to other people over your life, so that when others are happy, that's when now you feel better. And you know, some of the time you're doing injustice to yourself by giving people too much power over you or putting other people first. And this may actually, it's not being selfish, but when you prioritize yourself, you prepare yourself to become a better person, even to be able to serve other people, because you have first fixed yourself, you have fixed your needs, and now you're able to be a blessing to other people, or you're able to even impact other people. This way, you know how to set boundaries even for yourself. Especially for ladies, there's this challenge that we have. You barely know how to set boundaries for yourself. Even at the workplace, let's say you're in a boardroom and like you have money to reach the level you are, sitting in a boardroom because you're rightfully there, not that you've been invited as a side, but you have successfully managed to sit in that place as a business person, as a lady working in the corporate world. And if you're sitting amongst men, believe you me, if it's there's an opportunity, maybe there's some tea that's to be served, don't be shocked if some of the guys will expect you as a lady to stand up and serve them. And you know what you do most of the time? You will actually stand up and serve them. What this challenged me is that sometimes it is subconsciously, unconsciously, we tend to set our brains to be able to allow other people to run our lives. It's not deliberate, but it just happens because of the way we've been cultured. So that you take the back seat in your life, the first thing that comes to your mind, if there's a decision to be made, if there's something to happen, you are first focusing on your life, on how to please other people, and then you forget yourself. Ladies, especially, I'm talking to ladies because this is something that really happens, especially to ladies, and it also cuts across board. So if you're a mom, there are some things that you can teach your children even from a young age. Don't give other people too much power over your life. Be the driver in your own life. Like, take charge. Don't make decisions that later make you feel bad, just because. Ask yourself this question: how many times have you made a decision just to impress others, just to people pleasers? You made a decision so that you can make others happy, and it happens because, especially if you're a firstborn, it used to happen even in our own families, whereby you are taught that you should serve others first and then you come last. It also happens, I even observed it with my own mom, that sometimes she would serve us even if it's food, and that is now how culturally we were brought up. She will serve us, and then sometimes the food runs out if we have other visitors that we are not anticipating, and she will have to go back to get to fix herself something, or end up not even eating. It is a basic thing, but as you observe it, she would put the needs of others first. That was how it happened in our African society. And that way we picked, like, hey, put others first before your own needs. What does that do to us? We end up prioritizing other people, which in turn brings self-doubt. it makes us not have self-confidence. And that brings me to the other point. Did you know that self-confidence is not inborn? Self-confidence is built. That is something that I have learned. Self-confidence, I am repeating, it's not inborn, it's developed with time. It is the small practices that you're doing. Because I remember the other day my little girl was telling me she's taking a lead role in a play in her school. And for some reason, there's a time she was to lead in a song in their assembly. They have like 1,000 kids. And then when she got to the stage, she got some stage fright and could not remember the lyrics of the song until the teacher prompted her. So when we were discussing, she told me something like, "Hey mom, next week I'm supposed to now do." She'd been practicing the script and she has perfected, but that thing still lingers in her mind and it keeps reminding her that it happened the other time that you didn't do so well, so this time you might forget your lines. But I told her, no, we will be practicing even with a mirror, and assuming you're facing 1,000 people, even if it's only mom or dad or just a few of us watching, and until you have built self-confidence. When you go to that stage, remind yourself that last time, although I didn't do it, I tried and eventually I remembered. So this time you just go to the stage and conquer the stage with your lines. That is how we train ourselves to build self-confidence. Like, give it a shot once. If you're afraid to speak in front of people, sometimes do it and forget your lines, but eventually you have done it. Also look yourself in the mirror, practice, keep practicing, assume you're doing, because me, like for me now, I love speaking. Sometimes I look into the mirror and just speak to myself and remind yourself that you got this. That is how you build self-confidence. Slowly by slowly, from speaking to the mirror, you'll be able to speak to that big audience that you have always wanted. Something else. Learn, just know that you are enough. Can you imagine? Most of the time, we are also cultured to believe that you're not good enough until you get validation from somebody, maybe somebody who matters. For us, when you're growing up, it was the teachers, and now currently you find yourself like, let's say you're in an organization, it's until you get a validation from maybe a boss or maybe from your people close to you, maybe your friends, your spouse, your family. You feel like you're not good enough until someone now says it. Or even in some cases, we tend to feel like you're not beautiful enough if somebody has not told you those words. But this now brings this point. Do you know you are enough just the way you are? And that's why sometimes we don't even take up big challenges, we don't take up big roles, even if it's in a workplace, because you believe that somebody is obviously better than you. But you know what? You are good enough just the way you are. Imagine when God made you, He brought all your pieces together on the day that you're conceived. He looked at you and He said, wow, this is good. Yet you want to look at yourself and think, oh, my nose is too long, my nose is too short, my hair is and all that. No, you are good enough, regardless of the shape of your nose, regardless of how you think you look. That is just your thinking, and that is the thing you're feeding your mind. And how do you affirm yourself? That is how you're able to make that sink. You rewire your brain to see yourself as you are, so that even if somebody says something that is negative to you, something that hurts you, it will not hurt you necessarily. If somebody comments negatively maybe about your look or your physique, it will not hurt you, because you are good enough. And you look so beautiful, by the way. If there's something that I've learned nowadays, and I love doing it, is affirmation. I speak to myself every single morning when I'm driving to work. That is, I do that as I pray. Every single morning before I get to work, I like praying, and as I pray, I do my self-affirmation. And some of the things you can pick, I tell myself, you're beautiful, you're good enough, God looked at you and said He did a good job, so you look amazing, and you will conquer this day. You've got what it takes. God has given me a chance for a new day to create something new. And even some of the things that you tell yourself, I look too good for my age, yo. And actually, I know I do. So affirm yourself, and even teach your children from a young age to affirm themselves, to speak positive. You're reprogramming your conscious mind which has all those other things, and you're reminding yourself that you're good enough, and don't compare yourself to other people. That's another point. The only person you should be comparing yourself with is yourself. Like, you should be now the one who's benchmarking. Don't compare yourself to other people. Work on yourself and your goals. And this brings me to my other point, that words are very powerful. So affirm yourself always by speaking positively. And as you speak positively, you are even coming into manifestation. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone, and because your worth is already there. You are beautiful, you are a strong person, and you've got what it takes to achieve what you intend to achieve. Keep speaking positively to yourself. Which brings me to another point, and this will be my last point that I've learned in my 40s, and I wish you know this now if you're watching me and you're a younger person. Manifestation is real. Manifestation it's speaking to our brains on the goals that we have set. That's how I define it. And as you speak to them, it's propelling your mind now towards the actions that you need to achieve these goals. So manifestation is just like in the Bible, we are told that faith without action is dead. As you manifest, like, I want to achieve this, I'm manifesting a car, I'm manifesting a better position in my work, I'm manifesting a better life, I'm manifesting. As you manifest, this is speaking to your mind, speaking to you. See, there I've said the power of the words. You speak to your mind, and the same way you speak to your mind, it rewires your brain, and now it pushes you to actions that are going to lead you to achieve that which you have purpose, or the set goals. So keep manifesting and keep speaking to yourself. As you speak those things, you will be able to identify the actions, and that way it pushes you to work towards the goals that you have prepared. So guys, those are the things that I've learned, and I'm happy that you have picked. I hope you have picked a point or two. But if you have not picked anything, remember one thing is, you are good enough. You don't need anyone to remind you that. If you don't need validation from anybody, you need validation from your own self, and this way you achieve by speaking positively to yourself. Thank you so much for watching. We'll do this on this channel because I have learned a few life lessons in my 40s, and I want to share them with you because I want us to bring a society that is full, a society where people learn to appreciate themselves without waiting for validation from others. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye. See you on the next one.